You're listening to FAMcast, the For All Manakind podcast, with your hosts, the competitive spirit, Trey Simpson, our own devil's advocate, Tim Weber, and the hopelessly optimistic Trevor Jorgensen. This is FAMcast.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to FAMcast. This is episode 82. I'm joined once again with the beautiful Trey Simpson and Tim Weber.
Yep, you know what? That's fine. That's me. Hi.
I was thinking, I was like, what can I use to describe Tim? I was like, no, it'll just be better if I just leave it at just Tim.
If you have nothing good to say, don't say it at all.
That's what I was taught.
Okay.
So we're back. We have not changed clothes since our last episode.
It's been a long week.
It's
been a long week.
It's been, yes. In the 15 minutes between episodes, it has been an extremely long week that we managed to fit in there.
Everybody watch Trevor. See if he can do this right.
Stop. So earlier this week, we had the announcement of LucasFilm Games. Can I get a round of applause, everyone? It's very hard not to go back to LucasArts. Just so we're clear, it is a challenge to and I'm sure I'll mess it up at least once during this podcast. But LucasFilm Games was announced earlier this week, which was pretty exciting, right? We've been living in this in this decade of almost a decade of exclusive EA rights for Star Wars games, with a few exceptions, because we have like the Lego Star Wars games. I really don't know exactly how this exclusivity works, because things like that happen. But to our knowledge, ever since I think it was 2013 that we had the announcement from EA of
Battlefront, right?
Correct. That's when we had Battlefront, and they're like, we're excited to be part. And that was right around the same time that the LucasArts and Disney merger happened. So EA was given exclusive rights to create all these video games, and they've had 4 games in the past 8 years. Is that 8 years now? I think, however math works.
7,
8.
It's been right.
We're close to a decade, and there haven't been a lot of games, and some of them have not been up to par of what people would expect from a Star Wars game. Granted, I don't want to take away the hard work that people have put into these games, because we have seen a lot of turnaround, especially in Battlefront. With Battlefront 2. They, took that community feedback. And from what I hear, they've really turned the game around. And then Respawn knocked it out of the park with Jedi Fallen Order. We had Squadrons, plural, Squadrons, Squadron, singular.
I was excited
It is
too,
Squadrons,
but...
plural.
So it not to get dive into all that, but 4 games in the past 8 years, and I think a lot of people were just disappointed with the lack of Star Wars games, because as a lot of people know, there's been a lot of hype around Star Wars the past couple years, just with the new trilogy, with Mandalorian. Now we've got all these spin-off shows and movies coming out. Like, Star Wars is huge again, and they don't have the games to really match that hype. So it's exciting that we have LucasFilm Games as this overall umbrella, which, again, I don't know how this exclusivity thing works, because I thought EA said it was 10 years, and it has not been 10 years. I'm not complaining, though. And they kicked it off with the announcement of Bethesda. That was 2 days ago?
Yep.
On Monday?
It was, wait. No,
yesterday.
wasn't it yesterday? It was yesterday.
Was it yesterday? Okay.
Yeah, because I remember I was talking to people about it yesterday. We saw the trailer yesterday.
Cool.
You talking about the Indiana Jones thing?
Yes. Go ahead and tell us about it, Tim, because obviously my days are mixed up. So we got a Bethesda announcement yesterday, and it was
Indiana Jones. So Bethesda is, I can't remember the company behind it. So yeah, Bethesda basically publishing, what was it?
It's Ubisoft, massive, never mind.
They're because are you talking about the same thing I'm talking about, Trevor?
Yes, Indiana
We're talking
Jones.
about Indiana Jones,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure because we went from Star Wars to Indiana Jones.
Well,
and I just
sorry,
wanted to make sure.
we're still all Lucasfilms, so under that
Right.
Lucas umbrella.
Okay, yes. So we got it kicked off with Indiana Jones game announcement being published by Bethesda.
Yes, which I don't think a lot of people expected.
No.
Because I don't remember the last time there's been an Indiana Jones game or
Demand for one.
or the I don't even remember what Crystal Skull was the last movie.
Crystal, yeah.
And I mean that was a long time ago too, so that was really exciting.
Machine Games, by the way, is who's actually making that one.
Yes, the same people that do Wolfenstein.
Yes, which is a good sign.
Yes, so hopefully more punching Nazis, if we're lucky.
Yes.
Because they said it's an original story, I believe. So it's kind of cool. They're not.
Yeah, I
kinda
actually
do their
like
own
that
thing.
aspect of it.
Yeah.
I'd much rather it be an original versus just going through playing like the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on them.
Do you think they bring in Harrison Ford for some like facial mocap or something?
It would be neat if they brought him in. Even if they just did it for the voice acting alone.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Do I think it'll happen? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen.
But it would be phenomenal.
That's where I'm at. I feel like that man is just like he's done. Like he's like
Let me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm done with Han. I'm done with Indy. Even though he is coming back for one more movie apparently. They must.
My name's Ford. It's Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Right. It would be cool to see him come back in voice act that.
It would be.
Did you see that? Go ahead, Trey.
Go ahead. Oh, so I think they're gonna go ahead. I think they're gonna do the Tomb Raider route, or just a completely different looking person.
Could be.
So you don't think it's gonna be Indiana Jones?
I mean, I think it's gonna be Indiana Jones,
like,
but I don't think it's gonna be the obvious
Harrison Ford.
Like a universe, like an alternate universe Indiana Jones.
They'll probably just step away from Harrison Ford being Indiana Jones, and Indiana Jones is more an amalgam of straight white male. I don't know.
Right, because I mean, you had like so old Tomb Raider games, right? They had like the very obvious, like huge boob, whatever, like fucking white girl braids, one braid. Boom,
She looks different than
Lara
she
Croft.
did back then.
Yeah, sexualized Lara Croft, and then Angelina Jolie
what
came out, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is perfect. Angelina Jolie is Tomb Raider. She is Lara Croft." And then the new games came out, and then there was like these internet shows that had all these different people playing as Lara Croft. So it's like I think people are obviously going to be like, "Okay, Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones," but I think they're going to go the route of that Tomb Raider route of saying just a different
Indiana
person.
Jones can look like a different person.
Yes,
is
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yes, is what I'm trying to say.
I could definitely see that. Even if they got him to do some sort of like NPC like voice or something,
Random character.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have his voice in there just because it's so iconic.
Cameo.
Yeah.
It's me, Harrison Ford. That's it.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw I think it was in the interview with Phil Spencer, Todd Howard actually had Indiana Jones like props behind him on his bookshelf. This was maybe like 4 months ago or something.
No, I didn't see that.
Kind of like teasing the game.
That's interesting.
So now I'm going to be like hyper analyzing every like interview I see with anyone. Just like how Phil had the Xbox Series S behind him, like all those months ago before.
There's a Big Daddy behind him. There's a Big Daddy behind him.
Oh my gosh! Don't. Oh, I wish, man. I don't know if we'll ever see that revitalized, but I would love to see more BioShock. But with Indiana Jones, I think there's, I think it kind of will fill a gap in the Xbox library that PlayStation has had
Correct.
covered for a while with Uncharted.
a very good cover for a while. Uncharted is glorious.
Yeah, I think a good number of people love the Uncharted series, but it's PlayStation exclusive. We don't know what exclusivity means for this this indie game yet, but we know it's at least going to be on Xbox because it's with Bethesda, and Bethesda's with Xbox now, so we at least know that it'll be there. And I think that'll be great for Xbox players to have that style of game. Regardless.
And the thing about that is if Indiana Jones, let's say it's an exclusive, like to Microsoft, whether it be Game Pass, PC, however, I mean, I'm sure there will be a good chunk of PlayStation fans that aren't happy, but at the same time, they have a great collection of that style of game. One of the best series of all time already. So enjoy that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like they're, I don't know. Exclusives are always hard to talk about because I know it sucks for people that only have one console and they may really want to play one type of game. So I do feel for those people. It's not as simple as, just buy a PS5 for it. And then, enjoy everything you can. So I definitely try and be empathetic with people that are kind of barred from that. So I don't know. What do you guys think it will be Xbox exclusive? I can
see it being Xbox exclusive.
I see this one having a bigger chance than a lot of other things. I see this having a better chance of being an Xbox exclusive than something like Starfield.
Interesting. Okay. So I'll throw this out there. I think it will not be Xbox exclusive, just to argue with you guys. No, just because it's under that LucasFilms Games umbrella. I feel like with it being Lucasfilms Games, I feel like they want as many people to have access to it as possible. It's not there's that other factor in there now.
And let's be real, it's Disney. They want all the money they can get. So
right. So I don't know. It really could go either way. I hope everyone is just excited for an Indiana Jones game regardless. Like I hope we can just be happy and not. I don't want to see, or I hope that I don't see people complaining about like, oh, it's suck on this, PlayStation fans. Now Xbox fans rise up. This is our time.
This is our time. I think the more likely outcome is it's going to be on all consoles, and it'll be free on Xbox and Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean
that's the more likely outcome of it.
And I know we've talked about that before, to where even if things aren't exclusive, especially when it comes to Bethesda, there's still an obvious choice if you have both consoles on which you're going to play it on, because it's already included in Game Pass. You don't have to.
You get a free rolling boulder.
Especially if we stick to this PS5 $70 price tag. So we haven't seen it. We're still so early on. We haven't seen how many games actually adopt that, but I can only assume that we'll see more of that down the line.
Right.
But an exciting announcement that I don't think anybody saw coming. So it's always cool to start off the new year with something like that. I think it kind of gets everyone
too. Yeah,
it gets everyone hyped up for what the new year has to bring. Well, granted, I don't think we're going to see this until 22, if not 23.
Agreed.
This was definitely hey, we've got some cool things in the works. Here's something you can look forward to.
100% teaser.
Yep. And I think they said that in their breakdown. Yep. But yeah, definitely excited that it's from the people that brought us Wolfenstein. So it'll just be something cool to look forward to, especially now that the biggest even outside of indie, the exciting part for me was just knowing that EA doesn't have those exclusive rights anymore,
which is crazy. But yes, I agree.
Like I said, I have no idea how it works. Does that mean they broke the contract, or is there some sort of loophole in that? Was there no contract at all? I don't know how any of that works. I'm just excited that more people get to have their hands on Star Wars now, because the more Star Wars games that we get, the better it is for everyone.
I think Disney kind of stepped in and was like, look, the quality you guys are making is not holding up to standard. Fallen Order was great. That's it. That was Respawn.
Yeah.
Granted, that is EA still, but
I'm glad that they're
step into it for sure.
Yeah, and I saw that EA was quick to comment back on that today. They were like, "Hey, we're still in good standing with Lucasfilms. We're still going to keep making games. I think they just wanted to make it clear that, hey, we're not like we're not like stopping any games in the future, especially with these. Go ahead, Tim.
No, go for it.
I was just going to say, especially with the success of Fallen Order, I think people would like to see a follow up to that.
Yeah.
Because that was a very good Star Wars game that we haven't had in a while, in my opinion. It just opens up so much, man. Go ahead.
Am I the only person? Well, no, I know I'm not the only person. Like, look, I think the Old Republic was a fun game, but I would really love a new Star Wars MMO.
Oh, sorry. For whatever reason, I thought you said like I processed that as Republic Commandos, and I was like, don't you dare disrespect Republic Commandos, because that game was amazing.
Yep. That game was
I want a new, better Star Wars MMO. Like, I went back and played the Old Republic 4 months ago just because it's like free to play, whatnot. Yeah, just because it's free to play, I still had it downloaded.
Yeah,
because that was like one of the first big MMOs I got into, other than Rift. Rift.
It doesn't hold up.
It's just not great.
So
it doesn't hold up.
I think it's tough for free to play MMOs to compete with some of the larger ones, right? Just from especially from like a content standpoint. Like if it's free to play, you're not bringing in the money to develop new content as quickly. Trust me, I was hyped for Old Republic when it came out back. I don't even know when that was, but I would, at this point, if it's open to everyone, that means it's open to Obsidian, and that means, I mean, can we get a Coder 3? That's what I would love.
Point.
I mean, granted, I don't want to just stick with old things. Like, I don't want to just see like Battlefront 3 and Fallen Order 2. I want to see new things that we haven't seen before. I
want to mix No Man's Sky with Star Wars.
That would be cool.
That's what I want.
Pod racers.
Oh, I would
gave you squadrons. What more do you want?
Pod racers, man.
Oh, pod racers, man. I guess
my
flying. But even then, in squadrons, it's only during the Imperial time. Like, I want Clone Saga stuff. Like, hopefully they come out DLC for it. That'd be great. But it's just TIE fighters and X-Wings, man. I don't know.
So 2021 is the year of the High Republic content, I think, is what they brand it as. So it's set like 200 years before the events of the prequels. So when the Jedi are in their prime, and I would love, now that they've got the books out around that, it'd be really cool to see some games around there, since we haven't seen that era before either. I think Old Republic is still my favorite era to see. But with the success of The Mandalorian, maybe we could also see some of that timeline too, because it ties a lot of the nostalgia with the old stuff, mixed in with some of the unknown new stuff. And I think bounty hunters are big right now, man. Like, everybody.
I can only imagine why.
Yeah. Everybody is still heartbroken around 1313, right? Like the Star Wars game that never was. And the hype for bounty hunters is so big right now because of Mandalorian. It's the right time to give us a Mandalorian game. I don't know what that would play like. I don't know who I'd want to do it. I just know that I want it to exist. What if there was a bounty hunter game, what would you want it to be like?
What would I want it to be like?
Yeah, how do you want it to play?
For me, I would say like Hitman.
That's what I was gonna
think.
Like, give me a bounty. Like, give me not necessarily like a Mandalorian. Maybe there's like different multiple races that you can pick from that would give you different tool sets. So say I'm picking a Mandalorian, and my target is a hut on a caravan. Like, give me the options to be like, okay, I'm gonna recruit these people. They're going to stop the caravan. Like, give me this free-form way of being able to take down my targets.
Division.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But give me this free-form way of being like, okay, I'm in this hut palace where there's explosive canisters of, like, I don't know. Let's just say blue milk is explosive. I don't know. Let's say there's that back there. There's
You can poisonous food. You can.
Yeah, there's poisonous food. You know,
I got you.
I'm commissioning this Twi'lek to, you know, basically like give herself up as a slave to where she can get more info, and then she could like poison or like sabotage a droid, and then like give me this free form way of doing things. That's what I think of like next gen 2 with all these loading time. I don't know. It just goes on.
Take that, add one more layer to it when you said you would build up your squad and make it a live, like a real time multiplayer assassination game. So where you have to it's like a heist game, I guess you could call it. So where you set up your squad. So maybe it's like a little bit like Payday in a way mixed with Hitman. So where maybe you do have to like break into a palace and steal something, or you have to, and you decide, do you go in guns blazing? Do you do it stealth?
It's what Assassin's Creed. What was the 4-player one? It's what that one should have been, but Star Wars.
Damn it, Brotherhood.
Yeah, Brotherhood. Unity.
So
yeah, I think it was Unity. Yeah.
Was it Unity? Okay. So. Yeah, it was Unity.
Yeah, give me that one, but Star Wars. And
okay.
And actually working.
So I'm gonna add on to that. I like this. I think this is perfect.
All right.
Okay, let's take this.
Trey's the base. I've got so you're the cherry on top, Tim. You've got to make it good.
Okay, you ready for the cherry on top?
Yes.
Now add in a PvP PvE element to where both teams have to kill the bounty. Whoever kills them first gets the reward.
That could be cool. So
as like an online mode sort of thing?
As an yes, PvP,
so like,
but PvE.
So like everyone's in the guild, right? Like they talk about the guild in Mandalorian. So you take your squad up, but who's gonna get to him first? But if
there's another squad up here.
But if you rush it, are you gonna fuck it up and allow them to come in and steal it? Or are you gonna hold back? I like it.
And the whole thing.
That's good.
The whole thing is just a fight over the bounty. And then you just get into it.
LucasFilm Games, hit us up. We got you.
We got you.
I think that would be cool.
Because that adds the replayability that the game needs.
Yes.
Yep. Something that's going to keep you coming back.
Yep.
There's so much that we could. It really is like endless possibilities now that it's not just EA, because we can have multiple Star Wars games in 1 year. You know, like it's just like how.
What's that like?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think we're about to. When we were growing up, we had such a drought of Star Wars content, right? Like we grew up with the originals, and you know the hype blew up with the prequels. Then we had another gap of 10 years or so until we got the sequel trilogy, and now we're just in this golden age of Star Wars content, to where we've got the comics, we've got the Disney Plus series, multiple series, spin-offs, movies. Like we're in it. Yeah, oranges. BB-8 oranges. I'll never forget that for the Force Awakens. They were marketing the oranges as BB-8s.
So I think the one thing too is that people don't like the original trilogy just because from my understanding, like the aesthetic of it, whereas people love the original 3. People love that because it was very like grungy space western.
Mm-hmm.
And then they tried to do it with the newer trilogy, but then it didn't work out.
When you say newer trilogy, so are you talking like 7 through 9?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that kind of shows what one of my biggest complaints in Star Wars is that everything always comes back to Skywalker. And there's so much more to, like, even spoilers ahead for Mandalorian season 2, cover your ears for the next 2 minutes or something. But when Luke showed up, don't get me wrong, like I was excited, I was cheering, but then like at the end of it all, I'm like, why? Like, I want to see something new. Get us away from Skywalker.
I thought the saga was ending when
I know
episode 9 was.
And again, trust me, I was as pumped as everyone else. I saw the X-wing come in, I saw the green lightsaber. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go. It's so cool. But then I'm like, man, like everything that Star Wars produces always comes back to this.
Right, like
why couldn't it be Darth Maul?
Think about how great Knights of the Old Republic is.
Yeah.
And that doesn't involve any of that. You know, like it's so good. I want more Old Republic stuff, High Republic stuff. Get us like before Anakin. Let's see some of that content. Or
everybody wants dope Jedi stuff. Just give it to us, but not Skywalkers.
Right. Just something.
The world of Star Wars is huge. The universe is so big. Just go from here to like here.
Yeah.
Give me Michael Groundwalker. Ground runner.
Ground runner. Yep, there he is.
That's perfect.
So we did get one more announcement yesterday. Again, today. What's today? From Ubisoft. So Ubisoft also announced that they're making a Star Wars game. An open world Star Wars game, which is super exciting.
Maybe that's what I need. Instead of an Old Republic MMO and like a new MMO, maybe I just need a good open world Star Wars game.
Yeah. And no details beyond that, which is fine. I'm just happy to know that there are other people actively working on Star Wars games, but it opens up so much with it just being an open world game. Like it has my brain just spinning. Like, is it going to be Jedis? Is it going to be like a class thing? Like you get to like pick who your character is.
That would be the best. That would be the best.
Yeah.
I want a Star Wars game where I don't have to. I can pick the character type, because think about it. If you can choose to be a bounty hunter, right? If you could choose to be a Jedi, or whatever, what have you. I want to be a cyborg. I want to be a robot. I want to be
a droid.
A droid. If you can pick that, think about the vast differences between those kind of characters, right? And what that would mean for replayability for your game, because that's going to change how you go through almost any section of that game.
Sure.
Completely.
Yep. I think I don't know, man. There's a lot that I when I think of open world, just because we talked about it earlier, it immediately brought me to Breath of the Wild, because I think that's the most recent open world game that. Well, no, never mind. I'm an idiot. I forgot about Ghost of Tsushima.
What about Cyberpunk?
Miles Morales?
I'll withhold that. So there's a lot of open world games lately. So and they all play differently. Like there's just so many different ways that this could play out. It just has me excited. I'll stop rambling at that. It has me excited. That Ubisoft is making an open world game. And who knows what? I mean, they said they have other announcements coming this year too. So who knows what?
Splinter Cell. Sorry.
Well, other Star Wars announcements from Lucasfilm Games. The Kirkland brand Metal Gear. That's what Tim wants.
But I guess say back to the Massive announcement. Massive is the team that made the Division. So
a massive announcement. I'm cool with that.
Star Wars Division style game would be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be cool with that. I'd like something. I forget there's a name for them, but games like Destiny and Avengers, to where you get the gear and it's a loot. It's a shooter looter. Like a loot based action game. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, more or less that's what it would be. Like a Star Wars game like that would be amazing.
That'd be cool.
Like what if all of a sudden we're all playing together and we have, our own loot and everything, and we're all Jedis or what have you, and all of a sudden Trevor finds a black crystal and now his lightsaber is black and it's super ultra rare, and he's running around with this
yeah.
It's Star Wars, just do it.
Yeah. So I want to close it out with a question here. And we kind of talked about it before. We crafted our own bounty hunter assassination squad style game, right? So we crafted that. It's going to be a big hit. But outside of that, if there was one genre, you don't have to go into the details, because I know we're kind of we're wrapping things up. But if you had to, or if you could have one genre Star Wars game be created, what would you pick? I'll go last because I know what I'm going to pick, so I hope no one takes it, but whoever wants to go first can go.
I don't know how it would work, but if it would work, it would be amazing. I would love for them to somehow create a survival horror Star Wars game. Yeah. You don't see horror a lot in Star Wars when there's a lot of opportunity for that. Because there's some scary shit in that world. I would really like that. Absolutely. I'm 100% in, and I feel dumb about my choice now. So thank you. It's just kind of like when Marvel announced that Multiverse of Madness was going to be more horror elements. Mm-hmm. It's good to see things like franchises like that branch out into different things that they haven't touched before. It's different.
Yeah. So I would, even just a horror Star Wars game would be amazing. A Star Wars horror movie would be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's in space. Like it's perfect.
That's scary, man.
Yeah. You don't have to do much. It's in space. It's already scary.
Right. You take Aliens. What was that one that came out? That game?
Alien Isolation.
Yeah,
God.
take Isolation, mix it with Resident Evil.
Jar Jar Binks follows you around on a space carrier.
Yeah.
You have to run away from him.
He's the Jar Jar Binks.
Right, just like off screen. It's just like you're doing your task and it's like, Mr. Jar Jar Binks. You're like, oh shit.
Oh, that reminds me
He's
of
like, I'm gonna find you.
It's like Five Nights at Freddy's, but it's the cantina that they play at the.
Oh god.
It's the cantina.
Oh god. And the droids
Yes,
fucking.
yeah.
Oh god.
We have so many great ideas. This
We're
is
here
perfect.
for you.
Five Nights at Freddy's with Star Wars. We're terrible at these ideas.
no, these are great.
So-
what are you talking about? This money.
So mine's gonna sound kind of lame. I gotta be real. But I thought of Riot. Right, those League of Legends and TFT.
Okay.
I would like to see, and I know I'm kind of cheating because it's 2-1, but I know I don't play League, but I like Heroes of the Storm. And I think it would be cool because there's so many like champions that from different comic books, movies,
Different
TV shows.
characters.
There's different characters that you can have as heroes or champions, whatever you call them, and you can create new ones because, as we discussed, it's Star Wars, it's endless. Like just make shit up. So you can have new heroes in there. So convert those from a League style game into like a TFT offshoot because I really love TFT. It's a lot more. I prefer TFT over League, but I still like both style games.
So do you want this to be a MOBA or do you want this to be a chess? The
An auto chess?
Or do you want one of each?
Well, that's where I was saying I was kind of cheating because TFT is like an offshoot of League. Because I don't know, I feel like they're kind of in one. So I would like both. I don't know if I
mean, I would play them. I wouldn't be upset by it.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool. I would like those style games. I know that's, like I said, I feel super lame for even saying that because I want Tim's idea more now. Especially because
he's gonna cut it and it's just gonna be Trevor's voice over my.
Tim, what a dumb idea you had. Any thoughts on yours, Trey?
Just because I play so many genres, it's just like it's hard to like think of something that I'd really, really want from Star Wars that's not already out. Man, Tim's was really good.
Can I tell you what I thought you would say?
What?
A fighting game?
The fighter.
I mean, yeah.
Dude, could you imagine like your
like Soul Calibur style
Obi-Wan?
But they did make that, and it wasn't good.
What was it?
Well, they can make it better.
Was it like Masters of Terras Kasi or something like that?
Never heard.
Interesting. Remember when they added
Star
Yoda and Darth
Wars
Vader to
Masters.
Soul Calibur?
Yes, that was cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
busted ass characters. Masters of Terras Kasi. Yep, there it is. It's
Interesting.
a fighting game. It was exactly what you were saying. It was very like Soul Calibur-esque, but it was not good. But I think I'm leaning more towards. I think a tactical game would be kind of cool.
Oh, that'd be neat. I'd be down for a tactical game.
I take the Republic Commando, right? Like how it had kind of like the ingrained, like you go here, you do this. Like I think that would be cool.
That'd be neat.
But that's already a thing.
But okay, yeah, well.
Like even if they did
it's
it,
what
like,
you want, Trey.
huh?
It's what you want.
I know that's what I'm saying though. It's like it's a game that I'd want. That's
There you
already
go.
out, but I want it to be more free form.
But it's older, isn't it?
Huh?
Isn't that game old?
Yeah, it's an old game. Yeah, Republic Commando's
So
old.
would they just
Give me
Yeah,
Republic
then it
Commando
works.
a better one?
HD remaster. That's all I really
There
want.
you go.
Because I
That game was so
love
good.
the clone
Clone
time
Saga?
frame. The Clone Saga is like, I think that's so cool. Just because there's so many different clone types. There's like named clones like Rex
Yeah.
and all those other people. I think that shit is just really cool.
Rex. My
And
dude.
like being able to
That's my
just
favorite.
the assets are done for you. You make one character and you just put different armor on them, right? So it'd be fairly easy. Just give them like different facial features and shit. But I don't know, man. I think a tactical shooter in the vein of Republic Commando, a little bit more freeform. I don't know. I think our Bounty Hunter game was like the best.
Yeah.
I think it sounds cool.
You know what? I honestly would love to see them allow indie games. Like it'd be so cool to see some of these smaller studios create Star Wars games as well, because Star Wars is so loved by everyone. So to be able to open it up to smaller studios and get some like wholesome, cozy games, like imagine like a Stardew Valley with Star Wars, to where you're gardening and resource gathering and building, and
that would be neat.
I think
it'd be so chill.
Yeah, exactly. I think that could be cool. They could have like little indie like rhythm games.
Risk of Rain, but Star Wars.
That'd be
That'd
cool.
be neat.
Perfect.
Yeah,
that's my game. That's what I'd want.
A roguelike Star Wars game.
Yeah.
Let's just list off every genre and just say we want it as Star Wars.
I'll take a pod racer. I'll take a roguelike. Yeah, I'll take anything, man.
Pod racer was so good. But yeah, I would love to see some cozy indie games with Star Wars. Give us everything. We demand it because we're gamers.
I guess in the vein of a fighting game, I would want like a Marvel style fighting game.
Marvel style?
That's a good one.
That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
it's where I could be like punch or like slicing and dicing, punching and kicking with Ahsoka, and then I'm like, I'm gonna call in Rex to do like some range shit, and like an ultimate where he brings in like a thing where it does like a spaceship comes in, does a beam, and then switches out, and then we get like Darth Vader does just like a big force choke, OTG into more shit. I don't know. It'd be fun. Just give me a Marvel style fighting.
We got the ideas. We'll work for it. We'll be your idea man, I promise.
Yep. Hire us to be idea machines.
Hit us up. We got you.
We'll be sitting there with. So what if?
Yeah. So I had this idea, and it has. It's all about Luke Skywalker. You're hired. You're hired. That's great. Well,
yeah.
I think that wraps it up for 82. I hope I said 82 at the beginning. It's my mind has been all over
82.
the place.
What's the studio again?
LucasFilm Games. LFG. I don't think I said it once. I'm actually pretty proud of myself.
You did well.
That's why we were laughing at the beginning, because we were all pretty sure that I would mess that up.
You know what this gives us, Trevor?
What does this give us?
This whole thing coming together with other studios being able to create a bunch of Star Wars games, Trevor. Do you know what this gives us?
What does this give us?
You know what this gives us.
A New Hope?
It gives us a new hope. Trevor.
Wow. What a great title for this podcast. I'm going to write that down. Great idea, Tim. This was all you. This was all you.
Oh, God.
As I'm like private messaging Tim right now, like, how dare you? Well, that's as creative as we can get for the rest of the month. So
that's what we got.
Once again, guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of FAMcast. As always, subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on, or maybe a platform you're not listening on. Not sure why you do that, but if you want to, you're welcome to. If you have any fan questions, anything you'd like us to answer on the next episode, either email those to us at fam@forallmanakind.com or drop it in the FAM mail channel in our Discord. We'd love to hear what you'd like us to answer or what you'd like to hear us talk about next. Always open to hear back from the community. It's already an exciting year with game announcements, but I think we're going to see a lot more. It's a big year for anniversaries. We've got Pokemon 25. We got a lot of. We've got Zelda's 35, Resident Evil 20. Who knows what we're going to see this year? So I'm really hoping we get to do more of these episodes to where we just get to get excited with all of you about these anniversary announcements. But until then, stay safe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Later, guys.
Thanks for listening to FAMcast. Be sure to subscribe for the latest episodes and follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and our other socials at For All Manakind.